come. Hey, what is up, everybody? Happy Tano Tuesday. We are here for our live, spoiler-filled, instant
There it is.
reaction to the recent episode of Ahsoka, Part 6, Far, Far Away. So, before we get to the breakdown of this episode, we have a very special guest joining us this evening. Alex, please introduce our guest today.
Yes, well, y'all caught me in the car on the way home, and I gave a shout out. But obviously, when we went to go see Ahsoka down in Emeryville, we waited in line with fellow Ahsoka fans, and we made friends with a fan and friend in line with us. Marlena is here, and we talked and had a great time, and mentioned our podcast and her time podcasting and aspirations to get back to podcasting. I was like, you should come talk Ahsoka with us. So This is Marlena, my friend from the screening, and please share with us the time that you had at the screening, and then just a little brief background of your Star Wars fandom. Any favorite characters, entry point, any first memories, anything like that.
All righty. Well, first of all, I want to say thank you guys for having me on the show. I was super, super psyched. I always love talking Star Wars with Star Wars fans. So first and foremost, thank you guys. And the screening is, I see Addie's comment. Hi, Addie. Yes, I actually got to meet Alex and Addie and at the screening last week in Emeryville, like Alex mentioned, and I kind of just came across it by accident. I was on Instagram and I actually just kind of found it. I think Star Wars Instagram had posted it, and they had posted it like an hour, and I clicked that link. They're like, click here for tickets, and I was like, oh crap, it's been posted for an hour. I probably missed it already, but lucky enough, I got tickets in, so I was like, okay, this is a must. Ended up going, and Alex and Addie were in line behind me, and we just ended up chopping it up, just about Star Wars, Disney stuff, everything really. And it was a really, really amazing experience. I've been to a few screenings before, but never for a Star Wars one. And I think that was hands down the best screening I've ever been to, just because, I don't know, Star Wars. I mean, it can't get any better than that, really. And then it looks like Lucasfilm was there. They had like people from the Star Wars show kind of, out with their cameras and stuff like that. And then I think they were interviewing people, right, Alex, after the show?
Yeah, they had like a step and repeat, and they were interviewing people as if it was a red carpet thing or something.
Yeah.
I didn't tune into This Week in Star Wars, but I'm sure we'd probably catch clips from that in there.
Yeah, I know I haven't got caught up either. I need to see if they posted anything about that. But it was just an amazing experience, and I couldn't think of a better episode to watch that.
Oh
yeah. That was just
every scene was so cinematic as it was, and just
exactly.
Clone Wars, Rebels, the feels
awesome. Like I was like felt myself getting emotional a little bit because I just like, especially with like I was a huge Hayden Christensen fan as a kid. So seeing him back as the character that, made me really fall in love with Hayden Christensen it was amazing. Yeah. And just seeing like the Clone Wars, I was a kid when Clone Wars first came out too. So just seeing that, I remember like thinking like we'll never see this. Like, people used to always say, "Oh, what about live action Clone Wars? Live action Clone Wars?" And I was one of those people like it'll never happen. So I wish people would just shut up about
Yeah.
it.
Never
But it
been happy to be
happened.
wrong, right?
Yes, exactly. So it was just a really amazing experience for sure.
Well, that's awesome, and I'm glad Alex invited you to come on the show and
Yeah.
give us your opinion of your experience. And then I always like having different voices too on episodes because we all come from different uh eras of fandom. I'm the oldest guy here, and so but I love the originals. I love the prequels. I love the sequels and the TV shows. Ryan, I'm looking at Alex, and I saw Addie, but I'm looking at Ryan. Is a young one here, so he's a
Yeah,
big Gator guy. So
Yeah.
God. Yeah. I've been a fan since I was like the story in my family is that it's genetic because my dad was a Star Wars fan. And they used to say, like, when he bought that first special edition set, the ones that came out on VHS,
yeah,
that I would like sit and watch them as a baby with him. But like my first memories of Star Wars is when Phantom Menace came out, and
right on.
the rest is history. Like
It all starts at the beginning, like the first trailer said. Every saga has a beginning.
Yes, yes, it's very true.
Well, right on. So well, cool. So, like I said, we're definitely glad to have you here, and let's get to it.
thanks
I'm
for
just going to
having me.
jump into this quick synopsis breakdown. First, this episode, of course, was written, produced by one Dave Filoni, directed by Jennifer Getzinger, new to the Mandoverse, I believe. I haven't seen her name before. If somebody wants, I forgot to. Usually, I'll pull up some of their past projects. So if somebody wants to do that real quick.
Yeah, I got IMDb right here, but we can talk about her later.
So we do get a quick. We start off with Ahsoka and Hu Yang still in light speed or hyperdrive, and crazy psychedelic light speed with the whales there, which was pretty cool. And basically, since it's a long travel, Hu Yang's brings up the stories, and Ahsoka forgot to, or she mentions how she didn't tell Hera about Sabine willingly, and basically decides to have Hu Yang tell the story that when she was a youngling, and of course that story starts off a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, which then we find out is the name of the episode, which was perfect because that's literally where they're going, to a galaxy far, far away. We instantly see the awesome Eye of Sion coming out of hyperdrive. Super cool. Land on the planet. We find out more about the Night Sisters, Night Witches, which we see on the planet. Incredible, insane. They're looking for Thrawn, and we find out it's an ancient Dathomir, like another planet from the ancestors of Dathomir.
Peridia or something.
Yeah, it is
Peridia,
an ancient planet of the Night Sisters. And then Balin mentions that when the Purgles they hit those hyperspace lanes, pretty much going to that planet to die. And we see the planet with a ring like Saturn winds up being a Purgle carcasses floating around.
Yeah,
which is pretty badass.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So they get there. Is soon after we find out Thrawn is there. The Chimera, if you're a fan of the Heir to the Empire Thrawn series and Rebels, a very, very famous Star Destroyer, hovers over the temple where they're at. And we see Thrawn. We see some crazy, crazy looking stormtroopers, especially this one. I forgot his name, but he had an actual face in
His
the bucket.
name was Enoch, and they are called Night Troopers. Shout out to subtitles.
Yeah. Yeah, and I just put down badass looking trooper in my notes.
Kind of look like Sons of the Harpy from Game of Thrones too.
A little bit, he did. Then they send. Of course, Thrawn is played by Lars Mikkelsen, brother of Mads Mikkelsen, who did voice Thrawn in Rebels.
Yeah,
Perfectly. And I liked how he slightly mentioned. Well, he mentioned that celebration, but he slightly changed the voice a little bit differently, but it still felt like Thrawn. We got Kevin Kiner's awesome score, awesome Thrawn
Yes,
theme with
yes.
the organs, very Dracula style. Awesome. They send Sabine out to on a fool's errand to find Ezra, and after an attack, she's you know giving the little wolf a little hard times. They find what I wrote down as space crab people, and they recognize her rebel logo. They all have little wooden necklaces with rebel logo, and she assumes they know where Ezra's at. They take him. We find Ezra, beard and all, scar on his cheek and everything. Thank you for coming to find me. Sabine didn't really want to mention too much about it, and of course they were being chased by Shin and Balin. We're getting a little bit more of Balin's what he has his kind of plot on what they're kind of going to, and still not too much yet. And yeah, that's where we end, but pretty much with Thrawn looking to use more dark magic one more time because they get note that Ahsoka is on her way through the Purgles, and he tells Morgan, "When you see the Purgles, attack with great prejudice. So don't mess around." And of course, the Night Witches mention that uh, they will help him with the dark magic according to the thread of destiny, and that's when we get his theme kicking in full blast at the very end. I'm going to start with our guest, Marlena. What was your initial reaction to this episode?
Um, well, I think my predictions were right as far as when we would get Thrawn and Ezra. And I had a feeling Thrawn would kind of come in, we wouldn't have to wait until the end for him. That's what I was assuming. And then Ezra was going to come a little bit closer to the end, which I figured. But what really was a surprise was really like the Night Sisters, the Great Mothers. That was a really cool. I just, immediately thought of Clone Wars, obviously,
Yeah.
the Night Sisters. So that was amazing. And then to see that the Night Troopers, that it's just Thrawn is so resourceful. Like even when he's like, just far in another galaxy, he still manages to like scrounge up like a small army. Is just oh my god. And I really didn't know how we were gonna find him. Like that was something I purposely didn't even want to think too much on and didn't watch any theories or listen to theories on because I really genuinely wanted to be surprised about what they were up to when we finally see them. So it was a nice surprise for sure. I freaked out. I'm not even like, who doesn't love Thrawn? But I freaked out when I saw Thrawn. Like, oh my God, there he is after all this time. So I really enjoyed the episode. It felt, I'm not going to lie, I think it felt, even with all the really cool stuff, just my personal opinion, it felt like a little lackluster, a little bit. But it was still a very, very good episode. Like
It's hard to step up to plate after episode 5.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. I think that's exactly what it was because I was like,
Iron
this is really
Man.
good.
It's like Iron Man 3 coming out after the first Avengers, and then whatever came out after Endgame.
Yeah.
So, what about you, Ryan? Where
sure.
I'm going to go counterclockwise around here. So, what was your initial reaction to the episode?
Kind of the same. It was a bit lackluster. I think the stuff with the witches was really cool. And I liked their voices, how it echoed, and it had more of a horror tone to it. I think the way.
Sorry, Ryan. Do you watch it with surround sound?
It's like my TV says it's surround sound, but it's just like one bar, so I don't know how
I wasn't sure if you have like a full surround sound setup.
No.
I was wondering how those voices would have sounded on there.
Imagine that in the theater.
Yeah.
In the theater, really cool.
Sorry to interrupt.
No, it's okay. I think the way they found Ezra was extremely lame. Because like Thrawn's been, it kind of alluded to he'd been looking for him for 8 years, and then she finds him like 2.5 minutes. Like I think that was like kind of like the worst find in a show or movie history I've ever seen. for a big buildup, like he's been gone for 8 years. We have all these questions. Thrawn's been looking for him. It's like, hey, the Ninja Turtles, they got him. So
I'm gonna just drop it before he gets a chance to say it on pitch meeting. Super easy, barely an inconvenience. That's exactly what he's gonna say about that.
yeah, like it was, yeah, that kind of like it took me out like a lot, kind of. So I didn't like that. I like Thick Thrawn that we all have somebody we can crossplay as when we go to conventions.
Yeah.
Um,
You gonna be a Ninja Turtle?
Yeah, I'll be your Ninja Turtle. Yeah, it was good. Like the story was cool. Like how they got there, that light speed scene with like the rainbows and stuff. That was pretty cool. I liked that it was a boneyard surrounding the planet. That ring was
Yeah.
like all just bones. I don't know how like physics work, but that's cool.
Well, I'm pretty sure planets like that, it's all just like dust and debris.
Yeah.
You know, so
I was
space
watching Star Wars Theory, and someone said that Ezra could be like not him. It could be one of the witch's spells, so then they could just keep following her. Maybe, I don't know. I like that theory better because it's a lot better than just, oh, he was right there the whole time. So it makes Thrawn look really dumb, in my opinion. And I know he's supposed to be like the super genius bad guy, but he's right there, and the person you go send to find him, so he just finds him in 2 minutes. So, but yeah, it was okay. That really took me out of it.
Well, there probably was a time gap, but no, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
What about you,
Yeah.
Alex? What was your initial thought?
I said before we went on air, but as much as it was a most amazing experience, I am now cursed to watch this show on a small screen. And it's just like they tell you at the movie theaters, like, if you're not watching this on the big screen,
Yeah.
Immediately the Purgle going through space. First thing I thought is this is going to be Joe's next background picture on his Facebook. Changes it like every week. That would be a perfect one for that. But then as Thrawn's ship approaches, I was like, why am I not seeing this on a big screen? This is so amazing. This is such a cinematic experience.
Yeah.
I thought it was great. I think getting Thrawn and Ezra in the flesh made up for the fact that it was a little bit of a bridger, pun intended.
I'm a pun.
Episode. I actually, it wasn't intended, but yeah, I got that one. I leading up to now, I kept telling people, I said, this show gets better with each episode. For me, this continued that, but I think part of that also was a bit of a fear. You know, if it keeps getting better, there's no way it can ultimately pay off at the end with being better than everything else we've seen. So at some point, they do kind of have to dip back down before they come back up. And if this is dipping down, I'm glad, man, because it's only going to keep getting better from here, you know? So for me, great episode. Still kept the ramp up of anticipation and excitement going. Yeah. I think tempering expectations, knowing that there will be more. It'll be interesting to see if there's a season 2, as this show has been quite popular. And then obviously how far out we are from the culmination of the Filoni verse on the big screen.
Yeah,
absolutely. And I know even before the show came out, and I was having a feeling that everybody hears limited series, they automatically go to one season. And I was always feeling it was going to be at least 2 seasons. Rebels was a limited season or limited show, and it was out for 4 seasons. So, and Rosario Dawson's really saying that, leaning to there's possibly more coming up.
Yeah.
So we'll see. Again, my initial reaction, I'm going to kind of piggyback on Alex and Marlena seeing TV episodes on the big screen. I have been lucky enough to see a few episodes of Rebels at Lucasfilm on the big screen, the Twin Sons episode, and after that, didn't watch anything after that. It's just like womp womp.
That's the Maul episode, right?
The Maul episode, yeah, and the finale. We got 3 episodes.
Nice.
Yeah, so that was pretty incredible. So
that must have been amazing.
A little elbow rubbing there, but but my initial, like I said, it's hard. I knew this episode wasn't going to be at that level of the last one, so I just kind of like, you know what, just continue the story. Let's go. Let's get it. And again, it was a great episode. Out of this entire season so far, even though we've been getting Rebels characters throughout the season, this episode to me felt the most like a Rebels episode. Um,
Yeah.
with the witches, even though they were from Clone Wars, but just the tone, the Thrawn, everything with him, the little crab people that in the music playing was very Rebelsy, little kidsy. Even the wasn't a Loth Wolf, but kind of fit that bill a little
Yeah.
bit. So that whole thing, then
It was an
uh,
ugly Loth Wolf.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Uh,
That's what I thought they were at first.
yeah,
And then when
You
we
remind
saw
me-
them, I was like, yeah.
That little toy that Ant-Man gives Cassie in the beginning of the first
Oh.
movie. He's so ugly. I love him.
yeah,
You're gonna make that TikTok too.
yeah. I'll work on that one. But I really gotta applaud the Rebels actors, because I always said that Sabine and Hera, the Natasha and Mary have really grabbed those characters for the live
Yeah.
action version. I forget his name, but Ezra and Natasha, they nailed Sabine and Ezra's little banter together. Even
Yeah.
though you could tell they're so happy to see each other, they still kind of holding back because they both are kind of like not little ego, but or anything, but um, but I just saw that whole little banter between them was great. Um,
That was a perfect I felt like it was a perfect Rebels callback of
Yeah.
their relationship in Rebels. Yeah.
Well, and it was
Ex-
almost like they never had a doubt that they would see each other again.
yeah.
Because
And
the first thing I was saying is, like, what are you doing? Like, why aren't you running to hug him? You know, you've been looking for him, or thought he was gone all this time, and went through what you did. Basically, turn your back on Ahsoka to go and find him, and here you are, and you're just
Yeah.
like, hey, what's up? You know?
yeah.
Yeah.
Even though you saw her eyes all glossy though, so she
Yeah.
was holding it in, but I'm having a hard time. I still think that is Ezra, because as long as Thrawn is on his way out, I think he could care less about finding Ezra. He don't care, in my opinion. But
Yeah.
we still got 2 episodes left. But
Yeah, Thrawn's always been big picture focused. So I mean,
yeah,
I know
thanks, Addy. Iman Esfandi is Ezra.
Esfandi. Ah, okay.
it's always leave it to the fandom to always wonder if someone is someone else. Going back to
Yeah.
the Mephisto days, and I'm sure something before that. But yeah, I want him to shave because I want to see the face, and I definitely recognize I'm sure they like lit or CGI'd his eyes to be all bright blue the way they are in the
Yeah.
because I didn't notice it at first, but then when you got the close up, you're like, okay.
And his scar.
And the
I didn't
scar.
notice the scar, probably because
Yeah.
all the facial hair.
Yeah.
I want him to pick up Chopper and be like, Wilson.
Oh no.
Wilson.
So,
That needs to happen.
but other than that, like, any favorite? I mean, what do you guys think? And again, I'll start with Marlena. What do you think is going on with Balin and Shin?
I don't know. This episode kind of really took me for a loop with them, to be honest. Because I really don't know what his game is now. You
Yeah.
know, like, because I know they had the conversation about power, and he mentioned like, oh, the power that Thrawn is after is like fleeting. You know, so I'm like, then what are you looking for? Because I thought that's kind of what, was implied earlier in the show, that you thought you would just kind of get a piece of whatever Thrawn was, trying to accomplish. So, and then it's really fascinating to really see him, like, when she asked him, do you miss the order? And he's like, I miss the idea of it, but like,
Yeah.
I don't really miss it. So I want to kind of see more of those conversations, honestly, between those two, just to kind of, well, first of all, to see somebody who lived through, the Jedi Order and then the fall of it, and who actually did, kind of turn away from that. It's really interesting to see others' perspectives who lived through that and how that kind of changed them into what they are, now. So I don't really know where we're going with that, but I'm here for it. I can't wait to see where it leads to.
And did you guys notice when he was talking to Shin that Ezra was trained to be a Jedi, but she's to be something else? Did you guys catch that at
Mhm.
all? Or?
Yeah, he said that. What was it? The Bakken Jedi? He said he was
Boken
trained.
Jedi, yeah.
Boken, yes,
Which
yes,
is
yes.
the same word they use for the training sabers or training swords that Hu Yang was training Sabine with earlier in the like episode 3 or something. So I guess almost as if they're like not real Jedi, but Jedi that are established after the fact of whatever a real Jedi could be determined as.
Mhm.
It would always be held against what a real Jedi would be, and kind of like a knockoff, like a Kmart version.
Yeah.
Right.
Um,
So I'm looking for a specific picture. So
I thought what they were doing was interesting. It kind of reminds me of Moff Gideon and like what he was cooking with the Dark Troopers, and not as much the Dark Troopers as much as it felt like a new. It's like they're trying to build a new story or a new arm of the Star Wars tree for us to go out and tell stories on. It's almost like
Yeah.
screw the Jedi, screw the Sith. We're something different in between. In his talk about like this enduring power, it doesn't necessarily seem bad or good. Obviously his intentions are for what he wants and whoever he's serving, and that's all. But obviously the way he serves as a mercenary for Morgan Elsbeth, yet also at least said he made a deal with Sabine that he was trying to upkeep. um, I think we're still kind of unsure which way he's going to lean, which way he's going to play. Reminds me of Kylo in The Last Jedi. No, which one was the eighth one? Was that The Last Jedi? Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
Where he says, forget the Jedi and the Sith. Let's go start our own thing. And the other character it reminds me of is Reva from Obi-Wan, just in the sense of you never really knew which side she was going to lean in the end.
Yeah.
I do hope that it's building something bigger, for the Star Wars universe to come. Obviously, the sad part about that is, this was all done, and if Ray Stevenson was a big part of that, it would be a shame to see his character story get killed off, or even portrayed by someone else. I'd much rather the latter than just pivoting because of it, because
yeah,
he's cooking right now with
Yeah.
his character.
Yeah.
yeah. And I've said it
Yeah,
before
sure.
that him and Shin, their outfits look pretty awesome too.
I can't
Very
Yeah, I
help but
love that. I love it. I love the detail on it. It's awesome.
I see Elizabeth Olsen whenever I look at her. I can't. It's hard to shake.
Oh, yeah. I didn't even see that, but now I see
Early Wanda.
Yeah, now I
it. Early
see it.
Wanda.
I'm sorry, and you're welcome.
I feel like it's the
Go
eyes.
like this.
Yeah, I don't know. I
the
can see it
scared
now.
look.
Yes, exactly.
So I guess I mean, I know we got so many stuff that we want to see. We got 2 episodes left. Ryan, what are you hoping we see based on where we're at right now?
Well, some more Ahsoka because we didn't get much. But I really hope that's not Ezra, and I hope there's some really cool reveal. Just because that was just it was just really lame to me. But yeah, I hope
Ezra's the dog wolf thing. No.
yeah, no, he doesn't even have to like be revealed as like a Sith or anything, or like I hope it's just like a projection of some sort, and like she really can't find him, or I don't know. It was just too convenient. I think they'll find a way to work in Mando or Luke still in the last 2 episodes, just to continue that, like to connect those shows because it's all part of one universe. So, well, I guess Ahsoka could be the connection, but I hope we get a little
And
more.
Tava Carson's already connected everything, so
I could definitely
Yeah.
see them showing Thrawn showing up in the Shadow Council that we saw at the end of Mando season 3.
Yeah,
Oh,
I could see
yeah.
that too. Yeah.
That could be, yeah, it could be a connector.
Because I mean, we presume Gideon's dead again or whatever, not dead.
He's not dead.
He had Beskar on; he should be fine.
Yeah.
ooh, the
I
Night
just
Witches will bring it
imagine
back.
like
Right.
that would
Well,
be
so
awesome.
about the Night Witches, the one payoff I want to see is I know Marok is not done. That green smoke flowing out of the body had to do with something, even if at the very least we see that it is something they use to reanimate others. But the connection I made is when we see the night troopers, you notice all their armor is like battered and broken and stuff. And so obviously on one hand you could think that it's like repurposed or something from somewhere, which they're in another galaxy. So where are they getting all this like broken stormtrooper armor? Or the flip side of it is Night Sisters magic reanimating people, and they are zombie night trooper stormtroopers.
I definitely think they're zombies.
I think
That's-
so too.
I did not think of that until you said that, but because even that one with a face
Yeah.
had the same
Yeah.
style of voice that Marok had.
See,
That
I
kind of,
know
like,
they
distorted.
have if I haven't played the second one, but the first game with Fallen Jedi Order with Cal
Mhm.
Kestis, when he's on Dathomir, he fights Night Brothers that are like zombies, basically. I think they're Night Brothers. Doesn't matter. He fights like
Yeah.
the undead. And that's like one of the main villains like you fight like throughout this whole entire mission. So when I saw the stormtroopers, I thought about them because I'm like, I wonder if it's kind of the same kind of concept of these Night Brothers that are zombies. So it's possible.
That would be pretty awesome and something we've never seen before, especially like well,
Yeah.
other than the video games and
Yeah,
some of,
but like in
and some of
a
the novels,
yeah.
but in live action, I know
Yeah.
Ryan would be down for zombie stormtrooper.
Yeah, I would. I'd buy that hot toy.
Man,
Speaking of, I saw in that Ordinary Adventures video, there's a Doc Ondar hot toy that's now in the Den of Antiquities, I guess.
oh, for real?
No way. I would have known. I did not hear about that.
I mean, they called it a hot toy. The box looked like something that you'd see in Galaxy's Edge, but the
They did a
detail
Black
on it
Series
screamed
one.
hot toy. So
They
you
did a
check
Black
it out.
Series
He had
Doc
a
Ondar.
Mandalorian helmet, all kinds of like gems around his neck. It was pretty badass.
Wow. Was that recently too?
Interesting.
The video was just posted today, so it was
Oh, wow.
Ordinary Adventures. They were doing all the new Star Wars stuff at Disneyland, as they hadn't been there since, I don't know, early in the summer.
Wow. Okay, I have to check it out.
Are you looking it up right now, Ryan?
Yeah, I'm scrubbing the video in there in Doc Ondars. No,
Oh,
that's
yeah,
not
it's
a
like
hot
the
toy.
last
That's
5 minutes.
That's Black Series. That's not hot toy.
It's Black Series?
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
I was
her
freaking
bad.
out there for a second.
It's pretty cool, though. Pretty detailed.
Yeah, it's cool. Just a different scale. That's a 1/12 scale. Hot toys are 1/6. Oh no, sorry, other way around.
So,
Yeah, they're 6 inches, so he's about 8 inches probably.
wait,
Yeah,
Hot
so-
Toys are bigger or Black Series is bigger?
Hot toys are bigger. Hot toys are about 12 inches.
Got it.
On
So that means Black
average.
Series is probably more affordable. What do you think
Yeah,
that goes
yeah.
for? Like $100?
Oh no, like
No,
24,
like
30.
yeah,
Yeah,
like 30
at
bucks.
most 30 probably.
Black
No
Series
way.
are like
I'm
30.
getting that Doc Ondar for $30.
Yeah,
I-
yeah. Plus your you haven't you don't have an AP, but I'm sure you know.
No, I
someone
gotta
has an
send
AP.
Joe to get all that stuff from
Talk
me.
some on
Yeah.
yourself.
Or
Keep
I can grab it with a discount when I go if it's at on the East Coast.
Well, I'll be down there right before you at Disneyland.
But if you want the discount,
Oh, that's right. You get a discount on the East Coast?
when I was when I was there during COVID, they were giving it to us, but it might have been like they feel
A
bad for you
nicety?
thing. Yeah, but
I
I'm
heard
definitely gonna try.
that if you're an annual pass holder for Disney World, depending on the Disneyland has different tiers, but like I think Disney World is just pretty much like one tier unless you get like the premium thing.
I think they
But
have multiple
they have-
tiers as well, but
Yeah, but I think their lowest, they get all the luck. I think they're like low. I could be wrong, but I think their lowest pass holder gets 20%, and then the lowest at Disneyland is 10.
Yeah, it's
So-
California
So-
ways.
So
Yeah.
real quick, this is the closest Black Series I have. So it's got a base. Most of them don't. But
Oh, that is awesome.
so about Luke is about 6 inches. So Doc Undar would be about 8 inches, maybe.
Right on the foot of the AT-AT.
So yeah.
Mhm.
So
Yeah,
I
that's
mean,
like that's Black Series, but it's like a different line of Black Series. They confused. That's when I stopped when they started doing the different lines.
well,
and,
this
like,
is
power
they had a
posters.
few. It was like a centerpiece line.
Yeah.
That's a
Oh,
good one.
wow.
The Doc Ondar is
That
going to be
is a
good
really
because
good
he'll be
one.
like on the shelf and he'll be surveying all of my antiquities.
Mhm.
Nice.
That's awesome.
But they have like, because I have a DJ Rex Black Series. They have Hondo. They have like different like
Oh wait, I'll show you something
packs and
sad.
stuff.
Show
Mute
and
your
tell.
mic.
Show and tell.
So,
So-
show and tell. I'm kidding.
Show and tell. Quick. I'll do quick one. But so I had a Stranger Things Coca-Cola can beside my Funkos, and I never opened it, and it somehow leaked, and my DJ Rex
No.
destroyed it, and a bunch of my other pops too.
You didn't have that one in a box.
Yeah, no, I did. I keep all my stuff. Funkos in a
No. But
box.
like the plastic protector boxes that go on the outside.
No, I never have them. I never have them.
Well, that's a good
I-
excuse to bring it out of the box now.
I suppose so. I'm just happy it didn't get my Walt with the Sleeping Beauty castle. That would have been upsetting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I thought that was a fun,
that
sad
would've
story.
sucked.
Hey.
Oh yeah, that's
Oh,
your new one. I like that. I like the
nice.
orange.
Show and
one.
tell.
Oh.
Show and tell.
Yeah, baby.
I seen that on Instagram, and I was like, "Dang, can't believe
I
I
think-
missed out."
And I think my favorite thing was, no offense to people that love them, but no Grogu's, just the Mandalorian.
Yeah, it would have looked
that's
weird with the
Yeah.
baby and a bat, you know.
Yeah.
nice.
Stay away from my baby.
Well, he does get beat on the sand speeder. That was a
True.
big uproar.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Everybody wanted to kill Jason Sudeikis.
Right. So, man, before we wrap up, any like favorite moments, favorite scenes? Because I mean, the effects, the music, everything's been spot on this entire season. Nothing looks cheap. So
The ship coming out, that
Yeah,
cinematic
that wide
was
angle.
amazing.
Yes.
The first scene between Thrawn and Sabine, I can't remember the exact dialogue, but I remember saying to Addie, like, that is Rebels right there. The way
Yeah.
she was talking to Thrawn, her nonchalant, it was something he said, and she just like bounced back. Well, let me get my stuff and get on my way then, you know?
yeah, her sassiness
Yes.
nailed it.
Yeah.
I thought it was great. Yeah, and then I think initially I thought the howlers or the hound things, whatever, I thought they were randomly Loth wolves because you could see them on
Yeah.
that first big panoramic shot kind of howling.
Yeah.
But then just to find out they're really ugly dogs, rat dogs.
Right on. What about you, Ryan? Favorite scene, favorite moment?
Yeah, that wide angle shot at the beginning. Yeah, that and the scene with the sisters at the beginning. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah.
Very
Their
Halloween.
little handcuff laser beam was pretty cool.
yeah. I would.
Yeah.
Do you know why they were shooting each other? Like, was it the call Thrawn at the beginning? It was like making a triangle.
Just doing witch stuff,
Okay. Okay.
I guess.
okay. That's it.
What about you, Marlena? What was your favorite scene, favorite moment?
I think my favorite moment was seeing the Dathomir witches. Is the first thing I thought about was like I thought about two things seeing them besides Clone Wars. Like it was a really awesome callback, you know, to seeing them in Clone Wars. But I also thought of the three witches in Macbeth. I
Yeah.
thought about that, and also appropriate enough, I thought of the three fates from Hercules.
Yeah.
That's who I thought of. Just especially because they kind of like have a ability to kind of see into the future. So then I really thought of that.
Indoor plumbing.
But,
Gonna be big.
Yes. That's what I thought. I love that movie, so that's immediately what I thought of. But I also kind of like. I think we're gonna see Sabine use the Force before the show is over. Because they did they did it again. Tried to hint where she was trying to use the Force to open up the door, and it ended up being Thrawn's Star Destroyer. Kind of making things shift. But that's like the second time that we've kind of gotten a tease, I think, of her trying.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I think we'll get it by the end of her doing something.
I always go back because a lot of people forget about this, but on the Trials of the Darksaber episode of Rebels, and she's learning with Kanan, there's a scene where she's so frustrated she leaves and just like walks off on her own, and when
Yeah.
she walks past the Bendu, and he awakes and looks at her, and that's all we ever see. So there's
Yes.
something in her that the Force being the one in the middle, felt.
Yeah. And there's
Even though-
also another scene besides that. And I don't think many people caught it. And I caught it in my last rewatch of Rebels before Ahsoka. And it's the episode, it's either the beginning of or the episode before the Between Worlds episode. And Ezra's hearing voices. And Sabine hears them too, but no one else does.
I remember now. I totally forgot about that. I remember that now.
Yeah. So like, like when people were saying like, oh, why they're making Sabine a Jedi? They're making Sabine a Jedi. Like, why? Like that came out, and I'm like, no, it was actually kind of with the Bendu moment.
Yeah.
And then that moment, it's been little things in in Rebels that kind of set this up. To be honest,
That's right.
So, yeah.
For me, I mean, we found out Morgan is a descendant of Night Sisters, but that was it. But actually seeing them in live action was pretty freaking bonkers.
Yeah.
Alex and Ryan know me on this one. I love this episode. The visuals were great, as everything's been going this season. But like the music is what really killed it for me, especially like how intense Thrawn's his theme is, and we get it in all its glory. A little bit quieter when you first see him walking through, but at the end, it's on full blast. And I love Kevin Kiner's score of Clone Wars and Rebels, but he is really knocking it out of the park this whole season. You could get
the Kiner family,
Kiner family, and you can. If you're not aware of this, you can actually listen to it. They have volume 1 episodes 1 through 4 on Spotify and Apple Music. But yeah, the music's so far as amazing as the visual was, where the audio was killer.
Now he's been cooking with all this. Amazing. He did Bad Batch as well, right?
He did Bad Batch, and for those non-Disney Star Wars fans of the DC universe, he also did the Peacemaker score. So
scored, was he the music supervisor, or was that James Gunn? Because I know
so it had the songs, but there was a score to Peacemaker. Yeah. It just got kind of shuffled behind the 80s glam rock, and of course, little kick with the Clone Wars and Bad Batch. The voice. D. Bradley Baker. Sorry, I'm just like.
Was he in there?
No, he voiced Eagly.
Oh.
And Peacemaker. All that for nothing Disney or Star Wars. So, but
it's all good.
So interesting. I didn't know that.
No, you're right. He was definitely cooking. He's been cooking the whole series. I love that it was pointed out that he has his family helping him on a lot of it. I noticed in the last episode there was a credit for vocalization. I forget the name. It seemed to be a woman's name. I presume wife or daughter, but last name was Kiner.
Nice.
And going back to Bad Batch, just the range of different styles of music from different planets and things. He's definitely, if Filoni's going to carry the torch for George, I will definitely be happy to let Kiner carry the torch for John.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Most definitely.
And that who you're talking to was. Oh, it might have been somebody different, but I just see a Sarah Hudson. But that was on the Sabine punk rock motorcycle chase. That's on the soundtrack, which is awesome.
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah,
Well,
that was
cool.
really cool. I listened to that.
Yeah, great. I mean, it's so good. And like, I agree. Give the man a movie. So
Yeah.
he's
Has he
earned
not
it.
scored any films yet?
Just a Clone Wars film.
The original one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Which Filoni
That's
always
the only
says that
one.
he's the director of the lowest grossing Star Wars film in the theaters. So,
And who knows? Maybe one day the highest as well.
Yeah.
absolutely. So, any final thoughts on this episode, or what you might see next episode, or
I
Anybody?
did what? There was a. Oh no! At the beginning of the episode, she said the thing about I wasn't honest with Hera about Sabine or whatever, and immediately I thought we were actually going to get the backstory of what happened between Sabine and Ahsoka, which brought me back to like, oh no, I haven't posted any of that on Instagram. So I will be posting some stuff on our Instagram stories for you guys to comment and interact with. I don't know when we'll get together for next week. If I'm not there, I'll definitely be posting my thoughts in our stories later in the week, as Addie and I will be arriving in Anaheim on Tuesday night. I think just after the episode has gone to air. I'm trying to figure out how I can delay my flight for 10 minutes so that I can download it before we take off. But like not do enough that they kick me off the plane and arrest me.
You just run into the washroom and be like, I'm sorry, I'm having an emergency.
oh,
Just
they
be
don't
like,
care.
oh, please hold the plane. My wife's coming from the bathroom. Please, please, please.
Yeah.
She'll be out there downloading it on both our phones.
Or
It'll be like one of those things where you're like waiting for the like downloading bar and there's like villains coming to like get you. Yeah.
Or you heard somebody behind you talking something, so the blame is off you, but on somebody else maybe.
Was it Rogue One? That's what I'm thinking of.
We gotta for the
For
plane.
the plane, yes, we need it for the plane. It's our flight is at 5:50 and it airs at 6. So
Oh, you'll be delayed 10 minutes for sure. I've
I
never seen a
hope
plane
I
take
will
off
be the
once.
happiest MF in the world if our flight is delayed any amount of time. Not like large.
What? It's gonna
I
take
still
off
want to be
early.
boots on the ground before 8. But
I'll talk to my friends who still work at that particular station.
yeah, you know where I'm flying out of. Just make sure my bags get on the plane and we can leave after 6.
Awesome. Well, that was a fun break. Not even breakdown. Just it was fun chatting with you guys, Marlena. You got an open door anytime you want to come back. Hopefully, we run into you guys or run into you again.
I already let her know about MouseCon for sure.
In MouseCon November.
Yeah,
So.
I'll be there.
Awesome.
Yeah, for sure.
So we'll be there too. So if you have any socials that you want to share, or I mean, you feel free to do that. Or
Yeah. If you are a nerd of Disney, Marvel, Star Wars, anything, just want to see me living life. My handle on Instagram is Marleni, MarleeniE 894.
awesome,
say
and
hi.
with an awesome picture
bite.
at the Lucasfilm lobby, I recognize. So.
Yes. That's my pride and joy.
Very cool. Very cool. Well, it was awesome
Yeah, thank
meeting
you guys for having me.
Oh, absolutely.
Thank you.
I'm glad you
thank
ran
you for
into
coming
Alex
on.
and Addie. So, we're
Yeah,
friends.
it was awesome.
Friends forever now. Star Wars nerds,
Yes.
Disney nerds,
Yes.
Stockton nerds.
I
Here we
didn't-
go.
I didn't get
Yes.
The
209.
finale is airing on my birthday, October 3rd. We are having a party at Burning Barrel for my 40th birthday, Tuesday, October 3rd. And I've got the clearance, at least unless his shit blows up and gets too big. And then he says, no, we will stream the finale at Burning Barrel, sound on in the whole place. It's going to be a blast. So if you're
Nice.
ready for a galactic finale and to cheers myself being 40 with some tasty beers, come party with us at Burning Barrel on a Tuesday.
And,
Yeah, we'll
and if
make a
anybody's
poster.
on the
Sounds
East
good.
Coast for
Party.
the finale, I'll be sitting outside of Spaceship Earth with my phone if you want to come sit beside me.
Nah, man, go to Galaxy's Edge. You got to go to Galaxy's Edge.
I'm doing Hollywood
Yeah.
Studios in the morning.
Ah,
Ah.
Yeah.
Well,
But
watch it
you
with
can go
Figment.
back.
Invite
You got a
Figment to
park
watch.
hopper. You're
Watching
just a
this
Skyliner away.
This is true. Well, no, the park closes at 9.
I
Oh.
still say park hopping's a waste of
Dang.
time at Epcot or in Florida.
I only have 2 days, so we're doing 4 parks in 2 days. I don't
No,
have
get
much.
your Epcot in. I'm
Oh,
sure you'll
man.
find
Yeah.
someone else watching. I saw in the Ringerverse somebody was kind of naively asking if they do like screenings of these things at Disneyland or in Galaxy's Edge, and his first comment was like, "I don't know, ask her yourself," and showed a picture of Ahsoka in Galaxy's Edge. I wouldn't be surprised if somebody pulls up with a tablet and a speaker outside of Docking Bay 7 and they watch it there.
That'd be so cool.
I've
Yeah,
watched the
that'd be
episode of
awesome.
Mandalorian by the X-wing in Galaxy's Edge. So,
Nice.
Nice.
well, right on,
Nice.
guys. Well, thanks for everybody that gave it. We got 2 thumbs up on Facebook. Awesome. And
Hey, Siskel and Ebert here.
yes, and we will see you guys next Tuesday for Tano Tuesday. And may the force be with you all. Good night now.